Welcome back, everyone! This is Juronitis bringing you Feed the Beast 1710. Today we are starting on episode 46, and today we are going to be doing a little bit of progress in Pneumaticraft, but most of today's episode is going to be about controlling Pneumaticraft, okay? One thing that we did last episode was we got the pressure chamber built, and we've got some pressure in here. Okay, we've got some volume upgrades so it can hold more pressure and maintain pressure up more effectively. We got the item life upgrade. As you can see, the piece of compressed iron is still in there, and that's been, I don't know, an hour or so ago while I was planning this next episode, and it's still sitting there. We have the security upgrade to make it so that if the pressure chamber gets up to critical levels, it will automatically vent any excess pressure instead of exploding. Okay, now there are other ways that you can go about that. As a matter of fact, if we look in the Pneumaticraft, this safety tube module, it says this module will release high pressure gases when a certain threshold is reached, though it prevents overpressure, it can be counted as energy loss. Okay, basically what that means is when you get to a certain point, it vents off excess air, and that is basically the same thing as the upgrade does. And the upgrade is a lot easier to use, and the actual upgrade itself is not that hard to make. So do yourself a favor, make this instead of trying to control it the other way. And because basically what it says is formula threshold in bars equals 7.5 minus redstone times 0.5, okay? Basically what that means is you have to supply a certain level of redstone to this piece in order for it to know when to vent the excess gas, okay? If you just put the upgrade in here, it will automatically vent it when it reaches critical, whatever critical is. Critical is always 5, but whatever. But the point is, if you make one of those, do yourself a favor and use the security upgrade. Anyway, now there's another thing that we can do here. First off, when you have your air compressor here, and you have fuel that has to go in it to run it, okay? You have the ability to have it work on, any kind of signal. Okay, now I can set it to where this will work. Right now it works on any signal. In other words, it ignores signal, it just works. Okay, we can change this to high signal where it only works when it is receiving a redstone signal. And we can change it to low signal where it will not work if it's receiving a redstone signal, or back to any signal. Now, that basically means that we can put a lever to control whether these things are turned on or off. But we don't really want to do that because that's annoying. We don't want to have to worry about that. I want to be able to put a bunch of fuel in here and not have to worry about it coming back to haunt me later. Okay, I don't want it to be on or off. I want it to automatically cycle when pressure is used. Okay, so that's one of the things we're going to be doing today. However, before we get into that, well, actually, no, we should do that first, because once we do that, then when we actually start using the interfaces to bring stuff in and out of the chamber, and we start losing pressure because of that, then we'll be able to actually see that the system we're going to build works. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make ourselves another piece from here, and that is called the pressure gauge tube module. Okay, basically this says that it emits a redstone signal of which the strength is dependent on how much pressure the tube is at. So basically it reads how much pressure is in the tube and emits a redstone signal. And as it says here, the formula is redstone signal is 2 times the pressure in bars. Okay, so in the system right now, we have 4.7 bars. So 4.7 times 2 is going to be 9.4. So it would emit a redstone signal of 9. Okay, there's no points in redstone, so it would emit a redstone signal of 9 because I believe it should round down. Okay, so let's go ahead and make one of these because this is what we're going to actually use to control our compressors. All right, so give me just a second here. Let's see. We got this is just, oh look, another pressure gauge. What a shock. All right, I don't think we had any extras of those. No, we didn't. So let's grab a couple of things. We're probably going to need multiples of these. It was compressed iron and gold. We're also going to need some redstone and a pipe. So no big deal there. And we should have the pipe in here as well. Or we're out of pipes. I could have sworn I made extra ones last time, but that's okay. Oh, I'll bet I put them in the auto sort. Well, no, the auto sort should have put them in there too. Maybe I didn't make them. Well, either way, we can make some now, except I don't have the compressed iron. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and make us some extra pipes. And then we can go ahead and make ourselves... I'm going to make a couple extras of these, because I will eventually use these. I may not use them immediately, but I will use them. Like that? Nope, like this. There we go. We want one of these. Actually, I'm going to want two of these, because later on I'm going to use more than one of them. So let's put away the excess stuff for the moment, and then we'll go ahead and put this into use. Alright, so the way this is going to work is we're going to go ahead and attach this to an existing side of one of my pressure pipes, which like right up here. Okay, I'm going to do it on the... Ooh, actually with the compressors this close, the signal it emits might actually affect the compressor. Let's find out. Alright, it is putting out a redstone signal of 9. Now the question is this thing actually receiving the redstone signal? Okay, we're going to say if it works on a high signal only, let's grab some fuel. We'll use some wood just because it's simpler. We're going to put one piece of wood in, and no, it's not working. Okay, good. So the redstone that is emitting is not actually transferring to this, so that's kind of good. I was kind of worried about that for a second there. Building this thing compact like this can have, problems with runover like that, but shouldn't be a problem. Alright, so now that we have this set up like this, we can see that it's emitting a redstone signal of 9. Alright, so in your normal setup, what you would want to do is run some redstone dust around to it. So let's see, redstone signal of 9, so that means it's going to have 9 total here, and we're going to use some blocks to put this stuff on. Like I said, normally, you would probably have this stuff down below. Putting the compressors up on top here really doesn't work very well unless you're going to try to do something like I'm about to do. So, dadgummit, quit that. Oh, did I leave my cake generator on? Hang on a second, did I? Okay, no. Yeah, we're still out of cake. Okay, just wanted to make sure a little bit of lag might not... I wanted to make sure it wasn't because I have my cake factory still going. I thought I had turned it off, and I have. Alright, so basically what we have here is when we put this down, we're going to see that this has... no redstone signal. Okay, yeah, I know why. Because it's actually up above it. It's actually in the upper block next to it instead of below. There we go. So when we put it here, we'll see that it also has no redstone signal. You, sir, are being difficult. And now you're draining all my air. I'll thank you to stop. We went from 4.7 to 4.3 with that leak, so not too bad, I guess. Okay, then instead of putting it there, we're going to put it here. How about like this? No, you're not going to let me do that either. Okay, fine. Mayhaps I might, it may just be that I need to move this a little bit differently. Let me put it on the top, but it won't let me put it on any of the sides. Well, that's just irritating. In that case, let's do this. So now, it should let me put it on the side. Oh, thanks. Great. So anyway, I'm trying to make a point here, and it's being difficult. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and put this down here now, and as we'll be able to see when we get back up here, when we place the redstone dust down, it will have a redstone signal coming out of it, right? There we go. Alright, so it is emitting a redstone signal of 8. Now, it was at 9, but because we lost pressure there, now we're down to 8. But the point is, we want it to be a signal of 9. So it's emitting 8. This one will be 7. And as you can see on Wayla, it's actually going to show here, 6, 5. And what we're going to want to do is have it terminate at the compressor. So that should be 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so at a redstone signal of 1, I really need it to be one more, and I actually can do that, but as you might notice, it turned on and burned that piece of wood. Alright, so hang on a second, I can do this just one step better. Now, can I break this off without breaking the actual tube? No, I can't. Stop losing pressure. Stop not letting me place the pipe back. Thank you. All right, so instead, we're going to place it over here on this one. And we'll put one more block of cobblestone here. And now, as you can see, we have a redstone signal of 6. And as it runs over, you can see that it runs to 1 right here and then stops. Okay, so this air compressor is set to only run when it receives a high signal. Now, just because we're going to be doing a quick demonstration of this, let's go ahead and grab 9 pieces of coal. And we're going to go ahead and put some coal in here and here. Now, this is going to go ahead and bring my pressure back up. Although with my volume upgrades, it's going to take a second. So as the pressure comes up, we're going to see the redstone signal that is being generated here go from 1 here, and as it gets up higher, it will go all the way to this. Now, what we're going to do is, instead of that, we're going to change this. This is only going to generate when it has a low signal. In this case, it has a low signal because the pressure hasn't reached there yet, but now you see the pressure has moved up 1. All right, so we're going to take a break right here while this builds pressure, and we'll come back in just a second. So it is currently generating. All right, so we'll come back in a second when the actual pressure builds up high enough and the signal actually reaches over here. All right, so it has officially reached over here. We've got the redstone power of 1, and we are emitting a redstone of 9. And it is currently, max pressure is 5 bars, but we're at 4.6. Now at 4.6, it has reached over to here, and this is now turned off, okay? Now you'll see that it actually is still burning, and that's because it can't actually stop burning the piece that it's already consuming. But when this flame finishes burning down, it will not take another piece of coal. So this will just take a second here. But the other ones aren't set that way, so we're going to go ahead and take the coal out of them because they aren't receiving the redstone signal. And that actually becomes a problem when you're running more than one compressor. So now my safety module just kicked in and started kicking pressure out because we're at 4.9 bars. Okay, so it's always good to have that. Okay, but now, when this finishes burning down, anytime now, it's taking a sweet time. It's very annoying. A lot of the times, if you're going to do something like this, it's not a bad idea to just use wood here. If you have an excessive amount of wood, it's not a bad thing. And there you go. It has stopped burning, and we are no longer generating pressure because of the redstone control here. All right. Now, the problem that we have with this is that this redstone control is rather bulky, clunky, hard to get exactly right. You know, I had to move that over there. It's only affecting one of the compressors. So this is just showing you one of the ways to do it and how it's typically done. So we don't actually care about that. We're going to go ahead and break this down because I don't want to use this. I just wanted to give you guys an example of how it would normally be done and how you can do it if you want to. All right, but instead of that, we're going to go ahead and make ourselves a couple of other things, and we're going to do this in a different way. Get off of there. All right, so we're going to go and we're going to use some BuildCraft stuff, okay? I'm not sure how to actually look this up, because when you just search for BuildCraft, there's really not a whole lot here. So instead, we're going to look up the, oh gosh, what is the name? I can't think of the name of that real quick, but instead, we need to make a redstone comparator. And no, not the Project Red one, the normal one. The redstone comparator is just some smooth stone, nether quartz, well, actually almost any kind of quartz, I think. Oh no, it's only nether quartz. And 3 redstone torches, which I should have over here. Or not. Alright, let's see. Oh, I already have plenty of that wood and stuff. So we're going to need a couple of redstone torches to build this comparator, and as long as I was here, I should have just grabbed the nether quartz. But we're going to need one of these. Oh, no, I can't do that yet. There, now we have plenty of redstone torches. And now we can make this, except for the smooth stone. Alright, so now that we have this, we can actually go over to our assembly table, and we're going to take this stuff out of here. We're going to put one piece of redstone in, and the redstone comparator. We're going to turn that off and turn this on. Okay, and this is going to make us a redstone comparator chipset. And you say, well, what is a redstone comparator chipset used for? Well, I'll get to that in just a second. So these are going to go ahead and put this together, and while we're waiting for that to go together, we're going to need to make another table. Okay, and if I can remember the name of the stupid thing, I can't, but that's okay. Advanced crafting, integration table. Ooh, charging and programming. Gotta remember those. But the integration table is what we're interested in at the moment. Oh, ironically enough, we need the redstone chipset that I told it not to make. That's funny. Well, here, have another piece of this and make that too. Alright, give me just a second while this crafts. Alrighty, should be finishing up. And, oh, of course, it made the one that I didn't need first. Well, I do need this. It's not a question. I just didn't need it quite yet. But I forgot that I needed this, but that's okay. This one makes a lot faster. This one takes a lot more. Kind of cool the way they have it blinking there. But it's actually very important to have, and I'll show you why here in just a second. Now we've got this. By the way, while that was charging up, I went ahead and made myself another diamond gear. So we should be able to make ourselves the integration table. Alright, so the integration table is actually a pretty cool thing. We're going to put it, honestly, for lack of a better place to put it, we're just going to put it right there. I don't really have a space for this per se, but that's okay. So we're going to go ahead and take the basic gate here, and it just says basic gate, compatible wires is red, and it's for Buildcraft Transport. So we're going to put this in the integration table, and we're going to go ahead and put the redstone comparator chipset with it. Okay, and now this is going to make us a basic gate with installed expansion redstone fader. Okay, and this is actually going to be very important for what we're going to be doing here. The redstone fader capability on this is going to allow me to program what level of redstone not only does it activate on, but does it put out as well. Normally, when you have the normal gate, it just does a redstone signal and it's just on or off. In this case, we're going to be able to actually control how much redstone it puts out. Alright, so let's see. In this case, by the way, the integration table, when you look under recipes, which is right there, if you click, it does show recipes, and it does show that you can make things, but it doesn't actually say what they are. So keep in mind that NEI has not caught up with this. You can make a robot, but it doesn't tell you what the actual pieces are. So don't trust that for this. It's actually very complicated to figure out how this thing works. Alright, so anyway, we're going to go back up here now, and we're going to go ahead and add this piece. Now, I actually want to... I wonder if I can actually work this way. Let's break this down again, because I really don't want it hanging over the side like this. Let's see if it's going to be nice to me this time. I doubt it, but let's try it out anyway. We're going to go ahead and put this right here. Alright, and then we're going to put the cobblestone structure pipe right here. Now it says it is emitting a redstone signal of 9, right? So when we put the redstone structure pipe, the cobblestone structure pipe right here, then we're going to be able to put this gate on it. Now we're going to be able to put the gate on it, but we need to make sure we put it facing the pressure gauge module, okay? So we're going to put this here, and now when we look at this, this is going to give us the option to set, if we receive a redstone level of 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, now you see when we say 9 that this lights up. When we go to 10, it's not. 9, it is. So basically it's saying if 10, nothing. If 9, give a signal. All right, so this signal is going to then say that we want to have this emit a redstone signal. Okay, now the problem is that it's blinking on and off, and that's not going to work. So what we need it to do instead is to output a red pipe wire signal. And why is it not? Oh, probably because I don't have this here. There. Now it should give me the option. Redstone signal, red pipe signal, okay? So now, when this is true, it's going to light up the red pipe, okay? So then, because that is then true, we can run this up and over with red pipe signal over to the actual compressors themselves, okay? So give me just a second. I want to actually make a couple more, because I'm going to need some more structure pipes to run over there. And, well, actually, no, I've got them right here, don't I? I should have the cobblestone. I do. Will 5 be enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, 5 should be exactly enough. That'd be kind of ironic if that actually worked out. 5 of those plus 5 of these. And then we're going to need the gates that I have built here. Actually, only 3 of them. And we should be able to climb back up here and lay the rest of this out. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and connect these cobblestone structure pipes up over here. And we're going to run them over to the compressors. Well, over the top of the compressors anyway. And we're going to run the red pipe signal up along these entire pipes. And there we go. All right, so now we have this set up correctly. And when this is receiving a redstone signal of 9, it will put out the red pipe signal. The red pipe signal will then come over to here. You know, I think I need to have... Actually, no, I'm not going to do it with the red pipe signal for all of them. They're all going to run the same, so let's just do it this way. We're going to bring this over to here. And then we're going to put one of the basic gates here, like this. And we're going to say, when this receives a red pipe signal, to give us a redstone signal. All right, so now that that's like that, we can grab ourselves a couple of the redstone conduits, and we can place these over top here. Except now I can't get up. Oh, yeah, I can. Ah, crap. There we go. So now that we have that, we can go ahead and place the redstone conduit over the top of these, and you can see that that is lit up. All right, so that is going to give the redstone signal to the air compressors. All right, so basically what we need to do now is set all of the compressors to generate only on a low signal. All right. Nope, that one was right. All right, so now basically we have this compact piece up on top of there, and you barely have to see it really. And now we should be able to make it so that everything works exactly how I want it to. Everything should turn itself on and off, and you know, as the pressure changes, and we can just go ahead and load these things up with pretty much whatever we want. Coal is easiest if you're going to be doing a lot of crafting. If you're not going to be doing much wood, you'll have to refill it with wood more often, but that won't actually be too big of a deal. But in that case, we're going to go ahead and actually change this up just a hair. And we're going to put a couple of these in with a chest. And that will take care of the having to constantly put stuff in. So, get up over here. Why did it do that? Get off of there. Come here. And you too. That was weird. Alright, so we got that, that, and that. And now we can actually just put a chest, which I'll just use a normal chest. And well, actually, I could use a barrel even. Actually, a barrel is probably going to make more sense. So let's put a barrel right here. Hello. Barrel. Okay, fine. We'll put the barrel right there instead. And we'll just put that last piece of pipe on there. Alright, and we're basically going to have this pipe items out of the barrel and into the compressors. So give me just a second to set these up, and then we'll do one other thing before we close up the episode. Alright, there we have it. I grabbed some wood from outside in the barrel, and I went ahead and configured these to pull from the barrel and put into these. So now we have oak wood stored in here. And you'll notice the oak wood is in here, but it is not burning. So, success. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to want to do is actually control the input and output of the actual pressure chamber. Alright, so to do that, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves 2 pieces of item conduit from here. And a chest. Just a normal wooden one will be fine in this case. And we're going to go ahead and put this chest over here. Alright, so, no, that's not a chest. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and configure this chest to extract always active. And we're going to go ahead and set this one to insert, and that will be good to go. All right, so now anything I put in this chest is going to go into the pressure chamber. And you'll notice that I can still access the actual interface to be able to change things as I desire. All right, so then on the output, we're going to go ahead and configure this to go down into the ground, actually. And we're going to set this to extract... should be always. Yeah, we're going to set this to always. And I'm going to go ahead and jump down in here and get stuck. It's okay. We're going to jump down in here, and we're going to go ahead and run this over here to my auto sorting area. So it will automatically be pulled out of the pressure chamber and go into the auto sorting section. So let's see. Right now we have this thing set to items begins with nothing, but it doesn't matter. So let's go ahead and toss this compressed iron ingot in here. It's going to be pulled out, put in there, then it's going to toss in here, be pulled out over here. Oh, it begins with X, so it's not going to actually do anything. There it is in there. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and take this begins with nothing off of there, and as you can see, it pulled the compressed iron out from there. All right, and then it's going to be sucked out from over there and should show up over here, which is actually a horrible example because I already have some of that here and you can't see it happen. But that's okay. We can do this then. Can toss that in. Out it comes. And then it should be in there because this is set with an E. Yep, there it is floating around in there. So now we will take this off of here. There it is over there, and bingo, there it is. So now it automatically sorts it back through here. Now, one of the other things I want to do is I don't want to have to actually go in here and do the item name begins with and all that stuff. I want to change this redstone behavior to where it only pulls things out when receiving a low signal, okay? And then we're going to grab some more conduits out of our machine parts, but we don't want these. Yeah, here we go. We want the insulated type. We're going to go ahead and put the insulated pipes here and here. Okay, so now when we go over here, we're going to have this on the redstone be a in and out with a strong signal, and therefore it's now hooked to the interface. All right, so then we're going to need a lever. No, it's not Pneumatic craft. Oh, I used all the levers making those things. Okay, hang on. I don't have wood to make levers. I don't have cobblestone or sticks. Alright, so we can then make a lever that's going to go here, and that's going to automatically connect to that. So now, with this off, it will go ahead and pull things out, but when we flip this on, it's going to send a redstone signal and not pull things out from that side. So let's test that real quick. Here, have a book. Alright, so the book should pop out, pop into here, and nothing should come out because the redstone lever is flipped. So now, when I flip this lever, it should automatically pull the book out. Bingo! Out it goes, and it goes into the auto sorting system and will wind up in the miscellaneous catch-all section, which is probably already there, but, you know, not quick enough. So there, we now have that where this opens and closes, and I can disable it if I want to from here, in which case I will leave it on for the moment because you want to leave this on until you're ready to do something there. Now, we want to be able to use the filter anyway, and we still can, specifically because if I want to throw a bunch of seeds in here, I don't want to have to flip the switch every time it has to be pulled out. Okay, I can use this to set that, but instead of using that, if I know I'm making something specifically that contains multiple items, then I'll just flip the switch, and with it on, all the items will be able to get in there, and then they'll combine, and then I'll be able to flip the switch and let the stuff out. So I like having the manual control as well as the other control. It's just a good idea for me. All right. So let's see. That takes care of controlling. Now we haven't actually seen this work yet. Let's. I'm gonna. Oops. Let's. Yeah. Let's do that real quick and do this real quick. Booyah. Sweet. All right. So I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna purposely break something because reasons. Alright, let me see. Give me one of these. Alright, that should drain out enough. Pop that back on. Pop that back on. And as you can see, the pressure drained out, and these kicked back on. So now, as the pressure goes back up, see, these don't burn as long, so when the actual pressure gets up to the point where it's going to stop, it won't have the pressure build up past, and the safety module won't be required. Actually, there you go. They all just turned off because we reached the pressure that it's going to stop at, which is 4.5 bars. Because now it should be receiving a redstone signal of 9. Now, we can change this to a redstone signal of 10, but 10 means it will be 5 bars. And the actual being at 5 bars can explode you. So, you know, you can stop at 4.5, you'll be fine. It's just, I don't want to take a chance of blowing things up. I hate having to put things back together. But that actually works out pretty well. The only other thing that this thing lacks is the fact that this interface is incredibly slow. And what we need now is some speed upgrades. And these speed upgrades, unfortunately, are really, really annoying to make. You have to make cake. And you have to make cake for every single speed upgrade. That's so annoying. Where am I ever going to, you know, making cake is such a pain. I don't want to have to go make... Potions. You have to make potions for every single one of these things. And having to make potions for every single one of these things is horribly annoying. Sorry, I just couldn't resist that one. Where am I going to make cake? Cake is such a pain to... Oh, yeah. So, yes, lapis cake and potions of swiftness, which actually are not very hard to make. All it requires is some nether wart. Where am I going to ever get some of that? And some sugar. Where am I ever going to get some of that? Because basically for everything I've done so far, I have a netherwort farm that has a ton of netherwort. I've got a cake factory that is not only making me cake, but keeping large amounts of sugar on hand, like at all times. I've got 63 stacks of sugar, so yeah, that's like not an issue. Which, by the way, the bottom line is that the chickens are actually the slow points. Every time they lay an egg, it makes a cake. Until they lay an egg, nothing happens. But yeah, so we basically have that going. Next episode, we are going to go ahead and get going into making new things in Pneumatic Crafts. We're going to use the pressure chamber to actually make something. I know, crazy, right? But we're going to make some stuff. We're going to make some advancements. We might even get into getting the drones up and functional next episode. I'm really not sure. I love the idea of having my assassin back, but I don't know if I'll be able to do it in one more episode. So, until next time, this is Jeronitis signing off on episode 46 of my Let's Play series. Like me if you like me, subscribe if you want to see what we get into next, and as always, help spread the gaming!